Everyone, you got to listen up for everybody that has little pee-pee problems. Okay, this is going to be pretty interesting. I know it happens to me all of the time. So I have with me Tina French, and she is the owner of V Juv.
V Juv.
And you know something? Were on my show, I don't know, it was a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
And you have a story that happened to you, and I guarantee you everyone that's listening right now can relate. Okay, because especially that we do have a little bit of the older clientele that listen, but we also have the people that are younger that have the same thing. I don't know anyone out there, have you sneeze and a little something comes out, right? I mean, but some people have an issue, and you did. So welcome back to the show. Tell everybody a little bit about you, and I want to hear your story again. Listen up, everyone, because we all can relate.
Well, I'm 58 years old, and when I was about 57 years old, I had a cyst unbeknownst to me for probably about 8 or 10 years. Everybody just thought I was fat. And it turned out it was about 6.5 pounds, and it was on top of my uterus, which pushed everything down. And so I had gotten to where, I originally had laugh, cough, sneeze, trip, and tinkle, but I'd gotten to where I was completely incontinent. It ran out at all times, so I couldn't leave the house.
Wow.
Couldn't go to work. I own my own business. Doing commercial property inspections, phase ones, and I no longer could leave the house. It was just too bad. And so I wouldn't do bladder sling surgery, Botox in the bladder, take the drugs, any of those things that I found the Emsella chair. And I actually purchased it for myself. And when it cured me, I decided to start V Juv. And I started actually with just the chair because I didn't want anyone to ever feel the way that I did, where it's just a complete loss of life, basically. And so I found that it cured me and that I wanted to share it with everyone.
So I want to talk about your story a little bit, okay? We're going to kind of break it apart.
Okay.
So when you had this cyst, which you did not know that you had it for 8 years, and you had the surgery, okay?
I had surgery recently.
It removed it, but it did not. As a matter of fact, did it make it worse for you? Because it wasn't about, it was putting the pressure, it wasn't like taking that away, okay, now there's no pressure, because it probably made everything sag, make it even worse.
It doesn't bounce back. I mean, that's why nobody's pregnant at, right before 60 years old. And so, it pushed everything down. And so even though they removed it, nothing bounced back
How
up.
big was it?
It was almost 6.5 pounds.
Wow. I mean, that's huge.
It's huge. Yeah. It's like being pregnant at 60. You're not supposed to do that.
I know somebody who had, we were talking about that before, who she had the same thing. It was the size of a cantaloupe. I don't remember. It was huge. And she herself was dealing with an issue. She didn't know what was wrong. And everybody say, you're crazy, you're fine.
Right.
Everybody does that. And then you know what? After a while, you just can't take it any longer. Was it depressing for you? You stayed home?
It was very depressing. I was actually suicidal. It was very, because
awesome.
I'm happily married and I had a business and everything. And all of a sudden it was, I was
That's
like,
terrible.
somebody like belonged in a nursing home.
Right.
And otherwise had nothing wrong with me, but that was just truly, truly embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. We all hate it.
It invades every part of your life. You don't realize how much it controls your life.
Now, you mentioned very fast this thing called an Emsella chair, and you were talking about. What is it?
So what it is highly focused electromagnetic energy, and it does the equivalent of Kegels 500 times stronger than a person can actually do a Kegel, and 11,228 minutes. So what it's doing is it is strengthening all of the muscles back to where they used to be. And when you strengthen the pelvic floor, you lift the bladder back up, because as the bladder gets closer to the door, things escape.
And there's no way that you can do those Kegels the way this can do it.
No.
Correct? So there's no way. So this is going to do the trick. You can't sit there and try and do those Kegels all day, all night, 24/7 to finally get some relief. No, this is something that you actually need.
Yes.
This machine, because it's going to help you. I call it a machine. It's a chair.
It's a chair you sit on fully clothed. And so it's completely non-invasive. And well, think about it. If you have weakened muscles, you're only going to be able to do an exercise as strong as those weak muscles can do. So this is taking over, and this is doing it at minimum 500 times stronger, then you can do that exercise.
And there's a lot of people out there that don't want to do surgery. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do the medications. But this is something that's safe. It's non-invasive. You sit on it, and it doesn't hurt at all. You're completely clothed. And how long do you sit on it?
28 minutes, and also this is FDA
They didn't say
approved.
30. They said 28. Okay, so 28 minutes. Go ahead.
And this is FDA approved, where the bladder sling surgery is no longer FDA approved because of all of the lawsuits and all of it only had like a 30% success rate. It was very barbaric.
And so this is FDA approved. It's
Yes.
it's simple to do. What we're going to do is we're going to open up the lines of the audience for everyone to get entered into win. Well, we want to give everyone that calls in a facial, because you also do obviously,
Yes.
anti-aging in your med spa, if we want to call it that. But so everyone's going to get a facial from us, and we want everybody to be able to call in throughout the rest of the show to be able to get that. But also, we're going to do one winner is going to win the Emsella chair to be able to sit in it and try it, and you let everybody do that no matter what, right?
Right, we let everybody come in and sit on it for 5 or 10 minutes.
But we're going to let somebody's going to
full session.
one
28
person's going to
minutes.
get a full session of it. Now, our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. They're located at 68th Street and Thomas, and what they've done is they've made it for the people that don't want to do surgery, for the people that want natural approaches to things, and you've made everything that you do incredibly affordable. And it's all transparent. You're completely transparent because because it helped you,
Yes.
you wanted to be able to help everyone. And so it's not expensive to do. It's not relatively to surgery, right? And so it's made it very affordable for everyone to do. You can check them out on their website. It's VJUV.com. Now, you also have with you Bettina. And Bettina, I'm going to say your last name. It's Ferrara.
Correct. Yeah.
And
Great.
she
Good
also,
job.
you work along with her. You are partners in this.
Correct.
You also have a story. So let me hear it.
Well, my story is a little bit different than Tina's. As I got older, I noticed that when I coughed, laughed, and sneezed, I would have a little bit of urine that would dribble in my undergarments. I have talked to so many women about this, and I think it's something we just don't talk about, because honestly, I think it's happening to pretty much 99%.
It's not just women. We know men
men
have
too.
it too.
Yeah, men
You're
too, yeah.
tinkling along with us.
That's right. Men as well.
Go ahead.
But I can just basically say that when I first met Tina, I didn't feel pressure. I was word of mouth. Somebody told me about the chair that she had, and I thought to myself, a chair? That doesn't really seem like that just seems crazy. But I had to go check it out, because I was tired of carrying around, extra pairs of panties in my purse. So I met Tina. She was super sweet. It was just like we just hung out like a friend. Even, she's like a great personality. And I sat on the chair that one time, and again, she let me do it, as complimentary demonstration. So I sat on it, and I thought to myself, wow, this is really unusual. And the concept of it makes sense, how it can help strengthen your pelvic floor. And no, I cannot do 11,200 Kegels in a session, which is what you get when you do a 28-minute session on the Emsella chair. So there's no way I could do 11. How could I ever do that in one day? 11,200 Kegels. So I went back to use the chair, and I found that after just a few sessions on the chair, my problem started to diminish a little. And I started to feel more comfortable laughing. I mean, imagine not being able to laugh. It's just crazy.
Well, we
I
just
like to
know.
laugh.
We all know when we start that what's going to happen, especially when a sneeze come on. First one, maybe not. The second one, for sure. And it happens every time.
Yeah, and with allergies, you're going to sneeze more than once. So bingo. Right. I basically could not believe how the pricing that Tina had was. She's all about helping people. She's not about making money. I mean, she's about helping people. I mean, of course, we have a low, we have to pay our rent, But it's her and I that are doing this together, and I just wanted to jump on board and help people too, because she really helped me. Thanks,
And you know
Tina.
what? It's really cool because you've been on many other shows. You've tried, I think television a little bit, Channel 3.
Mm-hmm.
You've done the expos. We met here, and I called you up and I said I'd love to have you on. And originally I didn't even know that this was what we were talking about, but the way that they are all about being transparent and making it affordable for everyone. Call in here. You're going to get the facial. Everyone gets that. And the big winner gets the Emsella chair. Our number here, 602-277-5369. We're going to keep on talking, okay?
Okay.
How many sessions do you have before you see?
We need to
Minimum
minimum of
price,
6 is
yeah.
muscle memory.
Yeah, we need to talk
This
about
one,
that.
something went wrong.
6
This is
creates
okay,
muscle memory.
but this one,
And it also strengthens
that
the
was
muscle
something.
that gets
Now
up
we're
and
having
keeps it.
that.
Puts more blood flow, which is what happens, which is why
Well,
it diminishes,
apparently
is
they
you lose
can't
blood
hear
flow.
it from-
And when this is making the muscle, it gives more
Now
blood
this
flow.
one.
So it's actually
Something every
FDA
time.
approved, it's gonna replace
Every time.
Viagra
It's
and
either this or
Cialis.
that.
What's it do for a man?
I've talked
Huh?
about that because I don't want
What's
that
it
to
do
happen
if a guy
every
sits
time. I don't know
on it?
what I can
Oh,
do
it's
because I
for
set
men
it up
too.
correctly.
So it strengthens the pelvic
you
floor,
can do.
and it
Facebook.
helps the prostate, and it helps the one that gets it up and keeps it up.
I think you
So
need to talk about the
men and
men
women.
too.
Yeah.
She can talk about that, like what it does to help men. Because you brought that
Yeah.
up, that'd be good. And I think we need to talk about our pricing.
Okay, and we'll see how you're going narrow and deep on it. And you're
Yeah, it's
keeping it
getting
this way,
better.
it's better,
Yeah,
right?
it's
And the
better,
second
yeah.
time, everyone says to me, I like the second one better because I knew what to expect. There isn't anyone that doesn't say it. So, you can see when you go more narrow and deep on it and not trying to get everything out
Yeah.
there on that
Yeah.
one thing. We can talk about something else the next time.
Yeah.
You
Should we
might
not
say,
talk about the men this time?
no, we're gonna do that.
Okay.
We're talking about the chair.
Okay.
I'm just saying other treatments, it's kind of better
Yeah.
to kind of stick on one and
Yeah.
focus on it a little bit.
Yeah. And also that it can help, I didn't mention that it helps with postpartum pregnancy stuff issues too. I forgot that. Because it can help women after they
Well,
have a
think
baby.
about it.
Yeah,
tighten
we're
up
gonna
the-
talk about the younger too, because
Okay.
younger people too.
Well, I think about it, it goes that big, you know, you can't naturally go back that, you know, a long way to go.
Well, is it a whole chair or is it something you put in your chair?
No, it's a chair,
sit
and
on
you
it.
come in the office and sit on it at the office, so we're not selling the chair, it's
I-
treatments on the chair.
Let's say that,
okay.
Yeah,
maybe because he thought that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then somebody else did, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, any other feedback, give us. We're open.
but yeah, so it's
How much does a chair run?
$150,000.
And what's the frequency on it? You said it was radio frequency.
It's highly focused, electromagnetic.
Uh-huh.
So, I can make a dime jump and close your hand, put your hand on the back of
Yeah.
it.
Cool.
Yeah, we forgot to say the strong orgasm and more control and stuff too.
Here we go. It doesn't matter, because honestly, we can even make, I have to ask Stacia, but we can even make a commercial that talks about that too.
Okay.
I think I have to make sure I can ask them that, but that way, if you didn't say it, we can maybe do an A and a B ad, so at least it hear it when you
Yeah.
don't say it, you know, even if it's tomorrow, they hear it, right, you know what I'm saying? So we might be able to do that.
Oh, we can still talk about it.
It's hard to catch everything.
And you can't, you just can't. That's why having more of them is best, right? So welcome back, everyone. We are talking about pee-pee issues. Okay, men have them, women have them, and not old people have them. Young people have the problem. It's a problem. Okay, and we have something here that we're talking about, that V Juv has something that is a treatment that is non-invasive in any way, and it's affordable, incredibly affordable. They've made it that way on purpose for everyone. You're located on 68 and Thomas. Your website is VJUV.com, and you do free consultations with people all the time.
Yes.
We've got our lines open here, and everyone gets to call throughout the rest of the show to get, well, we're giving everyone a facial. Number one, you want to feel good about yourself. The facial is the first thing to do. It always makes everyone feel good. But then we also have everyone getting entered into win an actual treatment of this it's called an Emsella chair that we're going to talk about. We're going to continue to talk about it. So everyone gets entered in to win that. So one person's the winner of that. I don't care who you are, you got to try it. At least try it. So call here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Men and women.
Yes. So actually, we did forget to mention, I actually got it for myself as a woman, but then last April, last April, they actually found out before that they it worked for men. And so they have a new protocol in the chair that they added last April for men. And so not only does it strengthen their pelvic floor and help with their prostate, but it also will help with erectile dysfunction. So when it's doing for men and women, when it's doing the pelvic floor, it's also doing every single other pelvic muscle that you have. So with men, that's the muscle that gets it up and keeps it up. So instead of Viagra Cialis, which steals blood flow from the extremities in the brain, this is building the muscle that gets it up and keeps it up, and adding blood flow to that area, building in new blood flow to help with the stronger muscle.
When you talk, it makes sense,
Yes.
right? And does it hurt?
Doesn't hurt at all. It's actually, you can just tell that's why we give a complimentary demonstration. You can tell that it's actually contracting those muscles and strengthening them. And so the first thing to go literally is getting up in the middle of the night and peeing. That's the first thing.
Nice.
You can sleep through the night. How great would that be? And then also for men and women, the side effect, unlike drugs, is a good side effect. It's stronger orgasms, more control, and men having stronger being able to get their penis harder, and strengthening what gets it up and keeps it up.
Right. So here's the thing. We've got our lines open here for everyone. We want you to have a facial from them because, you have other modalities that you do, of course. But today we're talking about the Emsella chair and your stories. You wanted to get your story out. It was very important to you. Our number here is 602-277-5369. And toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Whether it's you or someone that you know, call in here and get yourself a facial. Get a facial. Give it to someone. If you don't want to get it, give it to somebody. But also, everyone's getting entered in to win this treatment on the Emsella chair. It's 28 minutes. Everyone should at least try it, experience it, and see what it's really like. So call in here. The number one winner's going to get that. Our number here, 602-277-5369. I want to talk a little bit about the younger folks because we've been talking about sort of the older folks.
Right.
But women, especially pregnant, they have it too.
Oh, absolutely. I think once you have a child, you've changed your body structure in this area, and postpartum stuff is the Emsella chair works for younger women and strengthening their pelvic floor after having a child as well.
You know what the things that you said the first time that you were on is that you wanted to be so transparent that on your website, which I've been on your website, and I like the way that you have everything spelled out for everyone,
Yes.
okay? And that you wanted it to be that way because other people have, they don't talk about their prices ever, but you like to. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Go ahead. Doesn't matter who.
So basically, that's one thing that was so exciting for me when I met Tina is that she has a pricing structure that's extremely affordable. If you were to check out the Emsella chair at other facilities, a lot of doctors' offices have them, you're going to look at $450 to sit on one treatment. I mean, that's crazy. That is, I couldn't afford that, and so I would still have my problem. But Tina, because she's in it, because she wants to help people, she offers 6 treatments for $1,000, or you can do 30 treatments in 1 year for $1,800. So basically, myself, I ended up seeing results after just a few treatments. And so I originally wanted to do the 6 treatment package, but then I thought later on, well, for just an extra $800, I can, basically do maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
And some people need maintenance and some people don't. But I wanted that option. So I basically think that with her pricing, I was able, and it's true. With her pricing, I was able to solve my problem.
Well, and you know what? This is how transparent they want to be with it. They're literally talking about their pricing, but they want to because they want you to hear how incredibly affordable it is. And when you think about it, of course, other places, especially when they've got a huge overhead, which you don't, And it wasn't even about that, because you do have an overhead, but you still wanted to make it affordable for people. Again, 6 treatments is how much?
6 treatments for $1,000.
And that's 28 minutes
Yeah.
per treatment. We wanted people to understand it. And go ahead, say what it is.
And then if you wanted to have unlimited for a year, it would be 30 treatments. So it's like basically once you, again, I didn't need to do that, but some people do, and it's also kind of like it makes you feel comfortable.
You can go and do it as
Yeah.
long as you're
Right,
going
so
along.
you can do it. You can do the 6 treatments because it takes 6 treatments to do the muscle memory. Muscle memory. So it is important for everyone to do 6 treatments. But then if you feel like, you know what, I'd rather down the road to just continue to maintain this pelvic floor strength, then I would go with $1,800 and get 30 treatments per year.
But you think about it, it's nothing.
Yeah, and for me, it did take 10 to 12. That's why, because my problem was so
You
severe.
did.
And so 10 to 12. So, I didn't want people to have to chase it. You know what I mean? Oh, 6 more, oh, 6 more, that type of a thing. And so I wanted to make sure that you knew that you could sit on enough times to get cured.
Now, our number here is 602-277-569, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. They're giving everyone a facial. They do, obviously, all the anti-aging treatments for everybody in their spa. But this right now, we're talking about the Emcella. So everyone's getting a facial. You call and you get that. But we're also giving the brand prize as the Emcella, the actual 28 minutes of sitting in it. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Go ahead.
I just wanted to mention how it feels too. Sitting on the chair, it's basically you just sit there. I mean, there's no pain, there's nothing. It just sits there, and you can feel the electromagnetic energy, the high frequency, because it's definitely going to be on the pelvic floor area. So you're just going to feel it. It's like just tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. And you can be on your phone, you can be chatting if you bring a friend with you, whatever you want to do. But the feeling of it is really pretty
It's
spectacular.
almost like getting fit while you sit. That's what we like to say.
100%.
So let me ask you something too, because we did have somebody ask you a question of what this is like. You're not selling a chair. People sit in it. It's a treatment. Go ahead.
Right. You come into the office and you sit on the chair. So we're not selling the chair. Just wanted to make sure that people understood that,
Right.
The space age toilet looking chair doesn't end up in their living room.
Right.
It doesn't go with everybody's decor.
But it did yours. You wanted it so badly.
I bought it to put in my living room. Well, my deal was that I could no longer go to work, and so I was the first one in Arizona to have the chair. Otherwise, I would have just gone to somebody's office. Now there's a bunch of them, but I was the first one to have the chair. So I bought it with my retirement fund, and I was just going to put it in my living room. And then when I realized that it cured me, I decided that I had to share it because
See what people can do with their retirement? You just never know what can happen. And it changed your life?
Changed my life.
Changed
Well,
your
what?
life.
I couldn't afford to retire. I was only 55 years old. I couldn't afford to retire with what was in my retirement fund. And this way, it was worth a shot to see if it would work, so I could work the next 10, 15 years and make more than that back.
Right.
And
you have a life back. And
I had my life back, which was worth it. Absolutely, completely worth it.
It sounds like it. And for you too, what I hear more than anything is that it's something that we don't like to talk about.
Right.
Well, look, once in a while we'll joke about it, like, oh, guess if I sneeze, I'm going to have to run to the bathroom or what have you. We've seen incontinence on both men and women, young kids, and we know that this is a trouble, and it is embarrassing.
It's a $900 billion a year industry for adult pee-pee liners and diapers. So it's huge if they're putting flowers on freaking diapers for adults.
Right.
And trying to tell you they're sexy.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be that. But you know what? You can not only feel better and feel sexier and not have this problem, it also helps in other areas as well. We know that now too. You can check them out on their website. They're very transparent. They want to help everyone. They've made it so that anyone, literally anyone, can do it. So you can check them out at VJUV.com. So it's V and then JUVE.com.
And no E.
There's
Just J.
I'm sorry.
VJUV.com.
So it's VJUV.com. You can also call them. You do consultations all the time. The best thing to do is to call in here, get entered in to win. It's fantastic. 602-277-5369.